UnDaoDu to you and yours, wherever you are. I hope you're safe and well. I'm UnDaoDu. And I'm here giving an update. I got a little bit of brightness on me. Come on. Why am I so bright? Why am I so bright? Stupid iPhone. All right. I guess I've got to shut this down a little bit so I'll get the brightness off me a little bit. So you're not glaring. That's cool. It's kind of glaring now on UnDaoDu. That's shining off. The dew is just kind of shining off me, bringing it around. So I want to give an update. What's going on? So literally, I pretty much started to pull everything together literally a week ago for OTFcardano, and it was the Shelley fork that made it possible. You know, when I realized I didn't know, I don't live in cryptocurrency and what's going on and everything else. And I got the news, holy shit, Shelley's happened, smart contracts are happening. That means we can fucking code on Cardano. So I'm going to go talk a little bit background. Charles and I went head to head quite a bit. When he was in charge of Ethereum CEO, I kind of like railed on him a lot because it was the what was happening at the time was the DAO was hacked by God knows who. And basically Ethereum just decided to hard fork, and it was very messy. He was CEO at the time, and there's a lot of, this is kind of ancient news now, but I was at the time, I had people listening to me, not anymore. No one listens to me anymore. I'm just this talking head now, which is even better, right? It's better that no one listens to me, because you really shouldn't listen to anyone. You should just listen to yourself and do what you're passionate about, and don't be manipulated by others. But it was the one time that I was actually able to manipulate Ethereum Classic. And Ethereum Classic is the original Ethereum. And to put it to a context, what happened was, imagine if NASDAQ 20 years ago was hacked and $50 million was stolen, which today is probably like, $1 billion. And what they did was they just decided to roll back the day. So like pretend the whole day didn't happen, right? This is what a centralized government would do, and then start over and say, okay, none of this happened. We're issuing it from down here. All those stocks and shares, where everything was bought and sold, didn't happen that day. That's what they did. They did a hard fork and set things back, and then they forked it and created Ethereum. So Ethereum is actually the child of Ethereum Classic. So Ethereum Classic is the papa. Ethereum is the child. Shout out to Ethereum because Ethereum Classic, because they're having a hard time right now. They're not having consensus. They're getting 51% tax and all sorts of stuff's happening. Anyway, so I have reassembled my 2016 team, the core of my 2016 team. I brought these guys back together. So one of the guys is Jon Snow. I'm going to use their gaming names. He is one of the founders of Ethereum Classic. He is one of the 3 coders or 4 coders, if I remember correctly, that held Ethereum Classic together back when it was forked and kept it alive. So one of the founders of Ethereum Classic is our lead coder. I've always called him Jon Snow because he looks just like Jon Snow. He's an amazing blockchain engineer architect. He also, not only that, he ran a very successful company in Brazil until one of his co-founders ran off with everything and caused a lot of problems. And he doesn't know it, but that had to happen so we'd be back together. So he had to fall. He had to go from this fall. He had to experience kind of like what I kind of, well, he went through it all with all the investment rounds and everything else, and and it's great that he has that experience because that's going to really lead on. Um, Helios, who John Snow is our head of CTO or development, lead development on the blockchain side of things. And then Helios is our head of web development on the other side of things. And then T-Dubs. T-Dubs is our Silicon Valley contact. So we got Silicon Valley, we got Japan, we have UK. John Snow is currently in London, which means I can target folks, and we can go after investors there. And ultimately, the project's going to be run as a DAO, a pure DAO, where smart contracts will be set up, and that's how it is. And everyone will be able to, if they spend their cryptos, have to pay interest on them and everything else. Other than that, they're going to sit in a wallet. So as income coming in, that will be responsible. So there is no 1099. There is no organization. We are Bitcoin, right? We are 3 or 4 Bitcoin, and then there's me, the clown, UnDaoDu, the storyteller in there. So I want to talk about, so that's done, right? So basically, I didn't have any of that a week ago. A week ago, it was me and Mike, is that his name? Helios, kind of interested. Mike, I'm Mike too, so right, Mike, Helios, kind of interested. And said, yeah, I think we can shoot it. Everything we're doing, and what was really cool is because we've been working on. I've been, if you follow my profile, you'll see like autonomous wall, right? That's me trying to launch the noodle with the whole Trump barrier thing, right? It's all about the noodle. It's all about this AI. How do we launch this AI? And then there is this whole SOC-D. I tried it through coronavirus last year. I said, you know what? What about SOC-D? I threw it out there, but couldn't get any traction on it. The thing that you have to do is the most important thing as an entrepreneur is to get traction, feedback, what people think, and put it out there. So, and don't waste your time. And this is, again, why I have, after been doing startups for 20 years, and really focused on founders for the last 10 years, the closest I got to funding, I was walking away from funding because they wanted to own it all. They didn't understand the blockchain, and they wanted to own it all. They wanted us to issue a token and they wanted to own pretty much all the token, and we're going to get rewarded, and they'll have everything. And that's not how that's not, that's not what I'm trying to do. What we're trying to do is, that I talked about before, is to use the blockchain as it was envisioned, right? When to UnDaoDu it. We're going to UnDaoDu everything. And is the foundation, is the Bitcoin that's built in. The blockchain, that's just the tool, right? So one is the store of, the store of value. The other is the tool itself, and then the final part is the system, right? The AI. So they all have to work together, and pivoting ever since 2016, and waiting because the AI wasn't there, a lot of the technology still wasn't there. We finally have it, and now we can have a 5-year roadmap. That's how I'm looking. It's a 5-year roadmap because we're still so early with the blockchain. You don't understand how early we are. So what we can do is this, and this is the development cycle and roadmap that we're going to follow. And this is coming from talking with John Snow extensively for 2 nights in a row now. Is we're going to launch as a web app. The web app is going to be the gateway into the DApp. So we're going to launch from the web app. We're going to launch. You'll do that, and then it's all going to be, basically invite only. Very much kind of like how Pi Network was developed, right? Into a closed private blockchain that then rolls out to be open. So what we're looking at right now is seeing if we can basically take Cardano, run it as a private blockchain. This is what Jon Snow is actually working on right now. And basically run it as a private blockchain, and then in that way, when we do launch it as a public one, right, we're just basically adopting onto where Cardano is at that point, right? So, and the reason for that is the speed of transactions, the cost of the tokens, all this stuff becomes kind of like a test, and then we can also calculate, because one of the big things, for example, the problem with Ethereum is just if you have Ethereum, go do a swap between two ERC20 tokens. Just try to do a swap. I have an image. You can look at my LinkedIn where I show an image where I was trying to move just 10 attention tokens, just 10 of them, right, worth about $300, into some other token which were like a penny. And I was like, I'll just swap this $300 token, each of them about $30 each, to something that's a penny. And it wanted $150 for that swap. You understand that? I've got $300 in value. I want to buy something, another $300 in value, right? But because they're ECR tokens, and all these tokens are on so many different, how it works, right? You got to pay all of these computers, so all these networks, and it's just ridiculous. It just doesn't work. So Ethereum is broken, and I know there's a lot of hype, and the price is going up and up and up, but it's literally broken. And I had a friend of mine, I just got into cryptos, and he was like, fuck, I'm not doing anything else. I was like, well, just put in some Ethereum and send it over. And he was like, man, it cost me fucking $20. Send over my $100. It cost him $20 for him to send $100 of Ethereum to Kraken. I was like, I forgot all, and I didn't realize the network fees because I don't do anything. So I went and looking at all that stuff. So that's why people always say, why aren't you using Ethereum? Why aren't you using Ethereum? Well, that's why. Because imagine if we have 1 million fucking tokens which are doing this kind of swapping, right? Because and the AI is doing the swapping. You have to understand that everything is run by this AI. And it's not hard, and the AI doesn't need to run on the blockchain. It's going to run on nodes. It's going to run on your wallet, because it's going to use your machine language in your chip. And the new, especially if you got an iPhone, the new, then they're using these new chips, M1s or whatever. I think they're M1s, whatever. I can't remember, the Apple chips, brand new ones that came out this year. And within 2 years, that chip is going to be everywhere. So, we're going to have, every device is going to be like a little supercomputer. It already is, but even more so, So imagine 1 million of those. That's basically where the AI, a distributive AI system, will happen, right? So that technology is already happening. So now is the time we can start building. Finally is the time we can start building and getting this done. So I'm so excited to announce that the UnDaoDu team, UnDaoDu, right? And it's UnDaoDu are together. The roadmap is pretty much set. The other exciting news is I've been basically pimping all my connections on LinkedIn. You can go to FoundUp's Twitch, and you'll see there. Yesterday, I got an announcement from the first investor. Hey, we want to hear your pitch. We want to hear your pitch. So and I've been thinking about investors. So we need, obviously we need some capital, right? So I don't have tokens to give you up front, and I don't have shares to give you up front because we're a DAO. We are a blockchain entity, and we're all individuals. I don't need to spend any cryptos, right? I'm not living on cryptos. And ultimately, because I work on the side, I don't even know, but I fight giant hornets. I got to go back down in June and shoot, and I made good money when I work on a shoot because it's deadly. You know, I'm dealing with risking my life and ensuring the safety of the camera guys and everything else. So ultimately, the way that I figured out, okay, and I don't know, unless you really know and listen to my talks, it's not gonna make any sense to you, but in essence, the way it works is you have um, 5 parts to the network, right? You have the consumer, the collaborator, and the creator, right? Then you have the network and the fund. The fund, which is the AI, the fund is managed by the AI. We can read a smart contract that basically says over a course of 5 years of the, of it, if once it starts making money, right, it's going to pay back, right, 100x on the investment. So, or we can write it like until 100x on the investment is paid back, it's going to keep paying back. So we can basically tell investors that you can invest, we'll give you 100x back, right? Or 1,000, or one is 100x guaranteed, right? Unlimited time if you want to be sure, or you can be paid back on the first 10,000 tokens, and you will receive basically the creator amount on the first 10,000 tokens that we run through. That's it, right? So either or. So do you want to take the 10,000 tokens, which could give you 1,000x or 10,000x, or do you want to have the guarantee, or not the guarantee, but like it will just keep paying you? We'll write smart contract, it'll keep paying you. Because the way our system comes up is everyone who creates a token, there's a gas fee. A percent of that gas fee goes in the fund. Then that fund then issues out that payment to that investor. That's simple. So I figured out a way how the system can pay back investors. So if anyone wants to invest, we have a system now, a framework for paying investors. UnDaoDu.